So I'm going to show you today, I'm going to go out and I've been working on my form with my bow. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to show you a few shots out in my garage and show you the progress that I've made. It's a big difference than what you would have seen if you watched our Total Archery Challenge videos, which if you haven't, go watch them. They're pretty sweet. Oh, I gotta get some socks up my nasty feet. But anyways, so go check those out. And yeah, we're gonna get after it here. I'm gonna do that progress video, and then I'm gonna add in here, I gotta move my peep sight. My peep sight is too high. So I'll show you how I do that, dropping it down too. So get some socks on and I'll be out in the garage. So what I got here is I just have this block set up here. I got vertical lines. I have 4 of them, but I actually only use 3 of them. And I just line my pins up and pull through, so I'm not really worried about aiming at a certain point right now. I'm just worried about my form and making sure it looks good. So I'm gonna grab my bow. Just been keeping it right out here for me because I've been shooting it quite a bit. Yeah, just send a few arrows. Unfortunately, I live in town. That's not unfortunate. We like where we live, but I just don't have the luxury of stepping out off my back porch and just shooting any range that I want like some people do. So I got this nice little, it's 5.5 yards, it's 5 meters, and I just have it set up here just so I can get some good shots in. It's good practice on my form and things like that. So here we go. That was a good one. Talk about a surprise shot. That one startled me. That's what you want though. You want good surprise shots. Left and right is still perfect. I was on it. Okay, so I'm just focusing on making sure I'm pulling through and that shot surprises me every single time. I don't know if you guys saw it, I got a little jumpy there early, but I was able to recompose myself. Those were 3 pretty good shots as far as surprise release. I'll show them to you, but there's not really a lot to look at. Again, I'm just shooting straight lines across, so it doesn't really make any difference. Boom, boom, boom. But so they're all in the blue, so my left and right's good. I just have no way to check up and down at this point, but not really worried about it. So I'm gonna take a few more shots. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you and show you where I'm at. That was a good one, maybe the best one of the day. It's another good one. One thing I didn't mention is if you notice when I was drawing back, I was shutting my eyes when I did it, and I left my eyes shut all the way through my anchor, and what I was doing there was I was getting my knock point and my anchor point really on point. And what I mean by that is I know I have to move my peep sight, and that's going to be the second part of this video. So I know I have to move my peep sight down. So what I'm doing is I'm anchoring, doing all that with my eyes shut. And then when I open my eyes, once my nose is on the string and stuff, I open my eyes. And that's how I know I need to move my peep sight. Because when I comfort and really settle in, I'm only seeing half my peep. So, or half my housing of my sight through my peep. So I know I got to move that peep sight down. And I just want to keep doing that because I don't want to alter my anchor point based on where my peep is, because I know my peep's not in the right spot. So I'll show you a quick recap of that, what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to take a few more shots here. I'm going to turn some tunes on, get another 20 shots in or so, and then I will mark that peep sight where it needs to be, and then I'll meet you downstairs and we'll get that thing moved. Alright, so we got this puppy pressed here, and we're just going to move that peep sight down. Not very far, I noticed. It doesn't have to be much, but I'll have to run upstairs, grab my release. It's got a safety on it. We'll double check that before we actually tie it all the way in. But yeah, I do have, let me show you here quick. The string is slightly loose, but you don't need to press it too much. But I do have it slightly loose, just so it's easier to get into that peep, which will be right there. So, like I said, slightly loose, but not crazy. Don't mind all the toys either. As you notice, my archery shop is also my kids' playroom, but that's okay. Lots of space down here. All right, so let's get started. Just be super careful. Don't cut your string. Don't cut your finger. Alright, so I got all of this off, these four. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark, you see that? I'm going to mark where it currently is, because I have a pretty good idea of how far down I actually have to move it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark where it is, and then I'm going to move it down a little bit. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my peep out. So I'm going to have to separate the string in a different spot for the peep rotation. So we're going to go right there. Another crank or so here. There we go. Feels pretty good. The peep back in there. Go. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I have that in there where I think is the correct spot. I'm going to go ahead and draw back and just see what that looks like. Now when I'm doing this, first of all, I never draw back without an arrow in. I'd much rather put an arrow in my wall than dry fire my bow. Second thing, this release here, which doing the Stan SX3, has a safety on it, or not a safety, well, yeah, I guess you'd call it a safety pin. And what you can do is go ahead and latch that on, and then this screws right in there, and you'll be able to hear me. I can click it, but it won't fire because the pin's in there. So I'm gonna reset it, but it won't fire. Okay, so I'm gonna shut my eyes like I did outside. I'm gonna shut my eyes, draw back, and see where this ends up now. Oh yeah. That's perfect. All right, so that means we can go ahead and tie her in. 1, 2, 3. Sorry guys, I should have wore a different colored shirt so you guys could see better. Okay, and the way I'm tying this in is a way that I learned from Bowmar, actually. So he's got a good video on it too, but I'll try to explain it here the best I can. So I got 2 strands. I just wrapped it around the Peep, looped it 3 times, pulled it tight. The first one I slid to the bottom side of the Peep. Next one I did the exact same thing, slid it on the top side. So now you have 2 and 2. Again, I learned this one from Josh Bowmar. I haven't shot his nose button, but Tyler loves it. So that might be something for you to check out too. And then, open that up a little bit more. Right through here. I'm gonna go 1 half hitch. There, you feel it click in. Two. 3. Then he says go to the other one. One. 2. 3. And you should be able to pull those tight across each other. So now I'm crossing them to pull them tight. Let that thing focus. Woohoo. There she is. I think I got her focused now. So anyways, I did those half hitches and then I pulled them across and tightened them. I'm gonna put them back so I don't forget where they're at. Then I'm gonna go to the other side and I'm gonna do the same thing. One. 2. And as I'm doing this, when Josh Bowmar was doing it, he was talking about he believes that it's the best way to tie in a Peep, and from the results that I've had with it, can't argue with him. I mean, once you get this thing in here, it is going to be as rock solid as you have ever had a Peep in. Guaranteed. Pull it tight. I mean, already, like, that thing is not going anywhere. Got some waxing to do on those strings. Alright, so then I'm going to come back here. So I got 3 on each one. I can't remember how many he does total. But basically what I do is I just do as many as I think looks cool. I kind of think I'm just going to do those 6. So that's what we got going now. So we got these 4 ends. I mean, that Peep is going nowhere. So next thing I'm going to do is I am going to very carefully cut these ends off. And then grab a lighter and melt those down. Make sure your flame's going up. No need to burn anything. Or melt on your string or burn your string or do any of that. Sweet. Maybe could have left a little longer end on it, but it'll be just great. Cool. There she is. So I am going to have to make sure that I move my sight, because my sight is going to be off. But what I will do, let me show you real quick. So what I'm going to do is on that sight tape, it's at 60, so I'll probably just shoot 40. I'll shoot my 40-yard pin. I might even just dial it to 40, to be honest with you. So I'll dial it there to 40, and then I will move it. I'll just dial it to wherever it is, so I'm dead on. And then I'll take a measurement with my calipers and see how far that moved. And then what I'll do is I will put it back, and I'll come right up in here, and I will measure and I will mark. And then I'll move it how far it needed to be moved. So I don't want to mess with my pins or anything like that, because I know my dial and everything is on. I know my sight tape's good, so I don't want to mess with those things. So I'll use that dial and I'll take a good measurement of how far I need to move it, and then I'll go and I'll move the actual whole housing and then just put the dial back to where it belongs. So thanks for listening, or for watching. Listen in to Hunting Overtime Podcast for me. I got more info on there for you. But yeah, I appreciate your watching. Smash that subscribe button for us. Leave us some feedback, likes, comments. If you got questions about what I just did there, let me know. Again, that Peep sight tie-in actually came from Josh Bowmar, so make sure you go check out his stuff too. So that's where I learned that from. So thanks again, everybody. We're out of here.